Welcome in. This is Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin. I'll be the one and only Big Spoon.
Big little pudding riding around, watching your man on a tractor.
The primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and share our thoughts and opinions. When we have proof and evidence on the topic, it will be brought forth. This podcast does not constitute advice or services to anyone. Spoon and Puddin do not accept any responsibility or liability for anyone, our guests, or anyone's comments or actions based on the material we talk about on our podcast. This podcast is for private, non-commercial use, and everyone should ascertain that the information we provide is correct and verified at all times. I'm going to stress that one. There should be no adding, or reproduction of this podcast without prior written permission from Spoon and Puddin. You can reach us at realtalkwithspoonandpuddin@gmail.com. What's going on, Puddin?
Oh, we're sitting here trying to. That was funny yesterday. I couldn't help it to send that to you. Because I told you Friday I seen him in the left lane with his little tractor. It's like, he's just pissing voters off, but we shouldn't give him any campaign help, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You can't talk no common sense to that boy.
Oh man!
And I know we're running against each other, but I still like him. Don't mean I'm happy with him. He can't get out of his own way,
His worst enemy, his own worst enemy.
Well, me and him talked after he decided to throw his hat in the ring and run his right in. I said, "Here's three things that's going to happen, Thomas. I can predict the future for you." I said,
Charlie Thomas.
I said they're gonna kick you off the council. You're gonna lose the election. I'm gonna lose the election. Callis is gonna win the re-election. And I said, "You've lost all the way around." Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. Just like he said, he wasn't gonna resign. Judge says different, which I'm sure he's gonna appeal. But I mean, that don't mean he'll win the appeal. You never can tell when it comes to a judge, but at this present time, he is
unofficial but official. I mean, I get it. It's kind of funny, but like I said, we need to. I couldn't help it. I sent that to you. I had to show it to you yesterday. I was like, oh boy, slowing people up on the highway driving a tractor. That's your vote of, or your idea of, getting people to vote for you. Most people are driving through 109 wanting to get home, not go around a stupid tractor. It's not like they didn't see one of your 500 signs. You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
Yeah. Nobody sees the 452 signs you got in a few mile radius, do they?
I don't know. Sometimes less is more is the way I've always looked at it. You're not really throwing your garbage all over, littering up Portland like the rest of them. Oh boy.
Well, I'm gonna have to go through town and put a few more up, make sure the mine are up, because the people at Mapco, when they mowed the other day, they just took up through on the ground.
I seen yours was standing up though.
Well, it's because I went back and put it up. Everybody else is still laying down.
Everybody was still laying down. Okay.
Yeah. And I had my son with me. He said, "You want to put everybody else's up?" I said, "Hell, those are their signs. They can worry about them."
Yeah. Why would you want to put your competitors up?
Yeah, really.
You look like the rock solid candidate right there at the corner of town.
Yeah.
Southeast corner of town. There's rock solid candidate. But no. Anyhow.
Well, I finally listened to all that video you sent me. I didn't get to watch shit because I was working. So the parts that had videos or writing, I just got to listen to it. Now everybody needs to watch it, listen to it, but as well as I do, the brainwash part is going to be, oh no, that's just a conspiracy. And
you got mad at me about the Kardashian comment, but whatever. You're like, what the hell?
I didn't get mad at you because like 5 minutes before that, the Hulu thing popped up on my phone that said the new season of the Kardashians is out, and like 5 minutes later, you text.
I don't know. I didn't know that. I'm just fucking with you. But no, I mean, like twisting your arm, and you met, you talked to a friend of mine that watched a video on Friday when we spoke.
Andy watched it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said I don't know if he said he was 20 some odd minutes per minute, but like I said, the movie it ends, but it's scrubbed. It was on YouTube. It used to be all over YouTube a decade ago, maybe 12 years ago, and then now it's gone. They've taken it off, and you
Well,
have to go.
the government had to
Same
take it
thing
off.
with, well, because they don't want you to see it. Just it's the same thing with with Zeitgeist. That movie, it got taken off and moved away, and
I thought it was still on there.
no, I sent it to you through BitChute. That was where I
Okay.
sent it to you. Different platform that lets you stream it, but I wanted you to find the full real version, the one that I seen in 2008, 2009. These
Right.
are the ones that you watched here are the ones I seen. Now, back in 2000, back when the Tea Party was rising up, uh, you know. But it's people don't know how screwed we are. But what I was telling you about the Kardashians when I said that was because I got told Ian on the phone that Friday night or Saturday. I might have told him when we were talking about the Freedom to Fascism movie. I'm like, Big Spoon. He loves him some Game of Thrones. He'll sit down and binge watch a whole 9-hour season of that in a day. But you try to get him to watch something that's 2 hours and 30 minutes long that could set you free, you know. But it was real telling watching that, guys. But the movie, if y'all don't know who it is, if you're watching this, it's he was a movie producer. His name was Aaron Russo, and he did the movie Trading Spaces with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. But shortly before he died in 2007, he did a movie called America: Freedom to Fascism. That's the movie, and it's really done well. And he gives you all the Supreme. But it's funny watching that guy say a Supreme Court decision doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, let's hear that again. What did he just say? He says a Supreme Court decision doesn't matter when it comes to, but he was trying to focus on one thing that he thought, that everyone could just please put your differences aside. Just if you're on the right, if you're on the left, put your differences aside. If you're anti-gun and pro-gun, put your differences aside. If you're pro-military or anti-military, just put that to the back burner and then fix the country first. But
All right, bring my wallet in here. Bring my wallet in here. Well, people don't understand that how many things that are unconstitutional that our government gets away with. Like the federal income tax, the Federal Reserve.
Well, if taxation is easy to understand, you got direct, like what. There's two forms. There's direct, indirect. There's also a third form, which is a passive form. You know, um, but well, that would be on the taxation, like income, like capital gains, income, and passive. Those are the three types of like taxes.
Hey,
But is your wage really? Are you capital gaining anything? No, you're giving your life to somebody. You know what I mean?
yep,
And that's not. Capital gains would be, you bought Cuban cigars the day before the sanctions went in place, and then 5 years later you had them in a humidor and you sold them for twice what you paid for them because you couldn't buy them no more. That would be a capital gain, wouldn't it? You know, you
yeah,
time something. That's a capital gain, and then passive is real estate, and that's where most of the rich people go is real estate because that's passive and it's non-taxable. That's why people don't understand. Trump really ain't smart. He just doesn't pay taxes because he's a real estate guy. you know, uh, there's no tax in that ballpark. But no, it's an interesting movie. Like you watch, did you? So you watched the Zeitgeist one too, though, right?
Yeah, it's been a while because it took me like
3 sittings.
yeah three or four times to.
I sent it to your neighbor because he said he ain't watched that in over a decade. Because he said he couldn't believe that Freedom to Fascism movie slid under his radar. And he said I can't believe I missed that one. And
I I can't believe it either, much as he's educated.
well, he said he couldn't believe that. But I said, well, I said if you go to Zeitgeist, he's in there. Aaron Russo's in there.
What
He's in the movie.
I mean that all ties in. If people would just self educate themselves instead of relying on the media is not going to tell them the truth.
No, the media, like this week, I'm sure the media gave you like a little 30-second blurb. Oh, Nord Stream 2 blew up. Move along.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I haven't even seen it in the media.
Well, I'm saying if it's mentioned, that's how they would mention it because they don't want to talk about it.
Right. Well,
That's huge. That's a big deal.
I mean, it's no different. The politicians lie to you. The media lies to you. Uh, it's no different in Washington D.C. or this little town. I'm running for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a politician. I'm just a normal person who wants the best for our city and wants to represent the people. And I want the people to have a voice. I'm one of those people. Why can't the people have a vote in everything that goes on?
I mean, direct democracy. Get rid of what do we need? What do we need, Megan Thompson or Mike Hall? Oh, by the way, Mike Hall, just so you know, you are part of the Good Old Boys Club. You're just amongst the forest, so you can't see the trees. That's your problem. You know, just because his little quote on Monday. I'm not part of the Good Old Boys Club. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I wonder. I just wish we had a running record of how many businesses these good old boys have killed for Portland. How many do you know of?
What'd you say now?
Like businesses that they've killed. I know the rumor was that Walmart got controlled out of here.
Oh, I don't know. But I was just making the point that no matter if it's the local government, your county government, or your federal government, this local media is biased. They don't tell the truth. They candy and cherry pick what stories they want to cover, and they hide the rest or brush it under the rug. Same thing with the federal government. You talk about the Nordstrom. I haven't even seen it in the media.
Mm-hmm.
So won't you go ahead and you go
No,
ahead and elaborate on what really happened?
It's blown up. Somebody sabotaged it. They blew it up. It was blown up with explosion. They've got camera footage of it blowing up.
So is that what is that
Releasing tons of methane into the atmosphere.
I,
They don't give a
I,
shit
guess,
about the environment.
I guess that was the reason for the 30-cent fuel spike, even though it didn't have nothing to do with it, right?
I don't know, maybe. I ain't paying no attention. Like I said, its fuels has been high. I ain't been paying no attention to it. But no, what's going to happen is Europe's now because the pipe was cut off, but they said both pipes 1 and 2 got blew up. They're encased in concrete. There's only a couple people that can do that. You know, it's not like Farmer John with his TNT and for blowing up tree stumps went and did it. No, that ain't how that works.
It was probably our own government, like it usually is.
200 and something feet under the ocean, and somebody, either a seal diver or somebody very well trained with very special explosives, blew that up, or a submarine did it. One of the
Well,
two.
if our media and our government tells you who did it, it's going to be Russia or it's going to be a
China
terrorist.
or it's
Terrorist.
Russia. If our media says it's Russia or China did it, if Russia's talking, we did it. Our government did it, and it's very possible. Biden said he would stop the pipeline. He said it in February before the war. He said if Putin goes into Ukraine, we're going to stop the pipeline. He said it. I seen the video.
But he succeeded, didn't he?
Yeah, I think maybe the real president, because he ain't all there, had told him, oh, don't worry about it. We'll stop the pipeline if he does it, and he probably went out on stage and wasn't supposed to say that. You know what I mean? But he stopped the pipeline. It stopped now. I mean, even if they tried for peace, it stopped now. But then you had the voting over in Russia with the Donbass region voted to join Russia. Russia accepted the men and called it Russian territory. If you haven't seen that, that's going on.
Good morning, Jody.
And so you've got Russia over here, gaining more territory from Ukraine and talking peace, but it's kind of hard to talk peace when you're blowing up the pipeline or somebody's blowing up a pipeline. But now Germany's going to be in the dark or in the cold this winter.
Daddy, guess what?
So
What?
Yesterday when we were making these houses, this is
there's a lot of stuff going on in the news this week.
icing on your, pancake.
You're going.
Look.
So what are you doing, Spoon?
What, this week?
Yeah, what you got to announce? You got something to announce?
Well, oh my God. Hey, quit making so much noise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people didn't pay attention, this past Monday, the chamber hosted a. Sorry for the screen shaking. I got a 6-year-old and a cat was up on the table. The chamber hosted a candidate forum at City Hall that I was a part of, and I'm thankful for that. It was a learning curve. I thought I'd done a decent job.
I was mad at you.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure there's a few probably us, but
I texted you. I wanted you to mention the fluoride, asshole. That's all I wanted.
I don't think
you can't even throw this.
I don't think you or other people realize what a difficult position you're put in because you don't know the questions going in. You only have 60 seconds, so when you go to speak, some of the things that you want to say leave your head, and then you're watching the guy that's holding the signs, like 30 seconds, 15 seconds stop. So you're trying to articulate your thoughts without losing them, right? And get everything you want to say in that 60 seconds. So I respect everybody that was up there and that has done it more than once, because your first time has got to be a great learning experience. Like most everybody said, hey, you done a good job. I had a few people that gave me some really good constructive criticism. Then I have assholes like you that give me just criticism. What
you want? You want me to just tell you, check? I wanted you to go after Callus's jugular because he's a poor mayor. I mean, he makes sure he doesn't lie. I'll give him that, because like when I asked him on July 1st to put fluoride on the agenda so we could talk about it at a council meeting, he basically said, "Get with your alderman," like that was a tongue-in-cheek coy. And
was the typical.
I don't have an alderman. You have aldermen. Did you ask a couple aldermen to put fluoride on there?
I went through 3 of them multiple times and it never got on the agenda.
All right. So you asked 3 aldermen. You are a resident of Portland. And this is, like I said, what people don't understand. This is kind of the buildup to that sign over your head. You know what I mean? The mayor absolutely could have put fluoride on the agenda. We both wanted it on there.
It doesn't fit his agenda, so why would he put it on there?
Yeah, no, it does. Well, I mean, like I said, it's either he's absolutely just a complete dumbass on fluoride, or there's something we don't know. Honestly, we don't. Is there a state fund that comes to the state that pays for fluoride times 2, 3 or something? Is that where you get money? Because who wants it in there? I don't. Yeah, your little ducky, your peep. You're gonna don't put it.
That's not a ducky. That's a peep. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I just think it's typical politics, and unfortunately, in almost everything you do, there's politics. And when you get into running a city or a county or a school board or a country,
Is this how you spell peeps?
The favors and the corruption and all that get bigger and bigger. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, you say there's corruption in this town. Look, if you're in the position you're in and you're giving special favors to people you know, and you're overlooking some of these codes and city ordinances, and you're doing all this other things. That is corruption, whether you think it is or not. That is corruption, right?
Well, I mean, like Mike Hall, I'm not part of the good old boy club. Mike Hall, well, let's see. Did you vote in favor of Josh's housing development? But then you told the lady at 601 South Russell that first, we don't want you going out on 52. And then she said, well, the entrance is on South Russell. Oh, well, okay. Well, we don't want this to be high density residential. It was August 1st agenda meeting, Article 22 54. She wanted to go from professional office space to high density residential, which I don't know what that entails. I mean, it could entail a four person apartment building, like a single building turned into 4 people. I don't know that it could be 8. I don't know the exact number. That's a definition I don't know. But while you're, and then you use the water as an excuse, and all this stuff with the water. But Alderwoman Megan Thompson, her family member Josh has got a big construction building coming in that's going to just suck the life out of the water and dump more sewage into the system.
Put him down.
But that's my point. My point is, okay, you're saying you're going to fix the water problem with taps, so suck more water out of the system and add more sewage to the system. That's how you fix the fact that you can't pick up the sewage you currently have. See what I'm saying? That's where it's just like, oh boy, y'all got.
Well, I mean, it's not only that. I mean, if you're in real estate and your buddies get special privileges, or you're voting on things and you're going to get something out of that. There used to be a alderman, and I'm not going to say his name, but I had a conversation a few months back, and he said the reason he wouldn't run again, nothing, because he was in real estate, and he said, if I sit up on that board, I'm going to be voting on things that's going to benefit me, and I do not want to be known for somebody that's in collusion or corruption.
Mm-hmm.
I can make my living and do what I want to do without sitting up there. If I wasn't in the position I am now, then I would, but I am in the position I am now, and I respect him for that. That doesn't mean to say that everybody that sits on a local board or whatever does those things, but it's the majority. Lobbyists exist for a reason, and that it should be illegal.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
It's unconstitutional. So if you think lobbyists only exist in Washington, D.C., you're blind. It happens in local politics. I guarantee you, if you pay attention to what goes on in these small towns, not just this small town, whatever small town you live in, there's people that setting on codes or in the zoning meeting or zoning committees, all these different committees.
Even if they got in there with the best of intentions, it doesn't mean that they're not in there, hand in the cookie jar, after they learn the system.
That's what I'm getting at. And just because they don't sit on your local government, but they sit on the committees, they still are lobbying for this and that, and they have influence, and they get benefits, or they pass things and vote on things that are beneficial to them. And a lot of people, like when we call bank FU, look, we're against the bankers, right?
Oh, no.
The bankers is what's ruined our country. Go back to the early 1900s. Was it 1912, 1913? Woodrow Wilson, the bankers bought him. What did we get out of it?
He lamented it later in his life.
Yep.
He realized that was where he sold the country right down the street.
That was the worst thing he could ever done, and he admitted to it.
Like, I got to look up some videos on Smedley Butler, somebody that, I mean, in a way, before your son went off and did his little thing, I wish maybe I should have told him to read some Smedley Butler before he decided to go be, National Guardist, or what is it?
Army National Guard. That's where he went.
Army National Guard, yeah.
But he goes through the same basic as.
But still, it's
any other
Smedley Butler was for well over 80, 90 years, I think, the most decorated Marine that America ever had. And people don't know who he was, but you would have known who he was if he would have followed the conspiracy. Well, see, that's another thing. Everybody, I seen somebody here talking about what's the difference between a conspiracy and a strategy. Is there, you know any difference, Spoon? Is there a difference between a strategy or a conspiracy?
Well, I guess there would be a little bit of differences, but not a whole
What's the
lot.
difference though? If it's a behind closed door in these committee rooms like you speak of strategy, or something that we think happened, like
I look.
the rumor, like the Collins rumor about how they killed Walmart and they wanted to extort money from Walmart. That was the rumor. That's a rumor, allegedly. Let me rephrase that for the people. That Walmart wanted to come in here, but some people that controlled the massive amounts of land in this town said, "Well, you're going to do this, this, and this. You're going to check box A, B, C, D." And Walmart said, "We're Walmart. Y'all can go fuck off," and went on to another place and just left. Did they go? Where did they go after that? Was it Franklin?
Yeah, Walmart went for Franklin, but yeah, there was probably a lot of factors to that, but
so we weren't in the. But see, what I'm saying is that's the smoke-filled room that everybody. If you think you know what happened in there, it's called a conspiracy when it's actually a strategy.
Well, I see the difference between strategy and conspiracy. Is I think strategy is in you're doing the right thing to try to win something, whether it's a football game, a baseball game, an election, as opposed to a conspiracy is when you're going in and closing doors and having meetings and talking about things and hiding things that you really shouldn't be. Because I can remember when Callis ran in one of the first, he was on all this transparency kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after he got elected, it all went to closed door everything, right? No more transparency. And that's the number one thing we need in any type of government is transparency. The people should know what the hell's going on when they're paying for it.
No, I know that. And
every big thing that's voted on should be out there for the public to see. All the meetings for the public to see. And I feel like the citizens should have a vote in this. Anything that costs the people a lot of money, the people should have a voice.
Mm-hmm. No, they should. Well, that's what I always.
Just like that building they give the chamber, right? The chamber does do great things. I'm not going to sit here and bash the chamber, but that building was donated to the city, right? And a lot of people say that building was destined to be given to the chamber. My question, and a lot of questions to them, was where's the documentation? Where's the contract stating that? Nobody's produced that. So therefore, before that council made that vote,
well,
they should have turned to the people and let the people decide if they wanted to give that building to the chamber or not.
No, they didn't. They'll put a half cent on your taxes is what they want to do.
Well,
so you can help pay for the building that's now leased for a friend. Wink, wink. Well, how you doing? Nod, nod. Look. Okay, now I talked to that guy. I told you, and I want you to talk to him too here in town. That was saying that he was trying to be a proponent of the half cent, and he was trying to be a proponent of buying your groceries. Now, again, a pinch, creamer, sure, I'll buy that Food Line or Cash Saver or whatever. But when I go to buy groceries, it's not a half cent at this point. It's gone up to Franklin to Walmart or Bowling Green, and it's now on my groceries. It's now it'll be 9.75 if they get their half cent raise.
Well, I understand that, but you got to look at it this way. I'm never for raising taxes. Never, ever.
Oh, no. You should be able to fix it inside of your own budget.
You should. Know? But here's the thing about that half cent. Everybody around us pretty much does that. The city of Portland across into Robertson County that we have does that. White House does that. This may be the last time as a city that we get to vote on that in or out. And if that is, the county eventually, whether it's this year, next year, is going to vote it in. They're going to say, y'all are doing this. And if they do that, the county will get 51% of the profits and the city will only get 49%. The value of the city going ahead and voting it in, the citizens, then the city would get 100% of the profits of that. And I know you're thinking about where this, that. I'm totally against raising taxes, right? But if it's going to happen sooner or later, we might as well get 100% of those profits. And look how many people come in from out of town that work here, from Kentucky, Westmoreland, White House, Cross Plains, whatever. They stop here, they spend money at the gas pumps, at the convenience stores. Hey, they got to stop and get milk or whatever on the way home. Most of that money on that half cent is going to come from residents outside of town, not from the people that actually live here.
Well, I know, but when you debated the mayor, he set up there, Mr. Spend, Mr. Spendthrift. All he wanted to do was spend more money, more money.
Well, in our forum the other night that we had, I think I stuck to the questions better than he did. He kept wanting to talk about what they've done in the past, and what did he say? We want to double our fire department. We want to build another fire station. We want new fire trucks. We want.
He wants 4 fire stations on north, south, east, and west corners of town.
Well, I want a vacation home in Hawaii too.
Oh, what? Come on now! I want one in Key West. What are you talking about?
But
somewhere in the Keys, I'll take that.
But the necessities take over at some point and say we got to take care of what our needs are before we get to our wants.
Yeah, that's why you can't pick up the water. The gym, the water that comes out of at the Planet Fitness, the water that comes out of the fountain smells like a swimming pool water. And then when you know who was working out there, she had to go out there and hit a sewage chew up button. Who owns that strip mall, by the way? Do you know?
Don't get me to.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out who owns that. I want to know who owns the land under that. But no, they got Planet Fitness in there, and there's a sewage chew up device that the employees from Planet Fitness used to have to go outside. They have to hit the button to grind the sewage up because the pipes are bad and it wouldn't pick up the damn sewage. She was working there and she told me, she's like, poop would just come up in the women's shower back there. When it got backed up, you'd see poop and stuff coming out of the drain. The pipes are too small, and then they brought Planet Fitness in and they didn't fix the pipe system correctly.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that would cost money, right? That would cost a rich person that owns that small money. Why would you want to cost that person money?
And I don't know if Planet Fitness didn't buy it outright, but they probably are leasing it. But I don't know right off the top of my head who owns it. But that's the point I'm getting at. He set up there and they spend money, they spend money, they spend money. And I told the people on the radio the other morning, because I was on the radio Wednesday morning on WQKR, I said, look, let's put this in perspective. If my 25-year-old daughter gets pregnant right now and she has a baby next year, by the time my grandchild graduates college, if we don't borrow another dime and we stay on the same pace schedule that we are, my granddaughter or grandson will be graduating from college, living in this town, paying off the debt that we owe right now without borrowing another dime for the next 24, 25 years. All right. I understand the wants, but you don't have your clean water figured out yet. You can't supply the people you have now, much less the other ones coming in when a drought hits, right? As long as you get rain consecutively and nothing major happens, you're all right. But you go a month without rain with all the new houses and stuff coming in and new development, you're in trouble. So until you fix everything internally to make sure you're not wasteful spending, which you are, cutting all the corners, finding out where you're losing money and fixing that, fixing the water issue, fixing the sewer issue, fixing the stormwater issue where it floods everywhere, all these infrastructure issues that need to be addressed and fixed now, and not only fixed because you're 20 or 30 years behind, but you got to put a plan together and budget together that says we're going to upkeep and maintain this when it needs it. If these water lines need replacing in 5 years, you got to have that budgeted. So when 5 years hits, wherever that section is, it gets replaced, right? Same thing with the sewer. You can't wait 20, 30, 40 years and band-aid and patch and then say, well, we need $24 million to do this. No, that's not how you run a city. It's not how you run a business.
Well, if you don't care about the business, that's how you run it, and that's how it seems to have been being run. And the current incumbent has been there for
he's been
every
in there
step of the way, pretty much.
He's been in there 20 years, and if y'all go back and watch the meetings, I don't know the exact meeting right off the top of the head, but he stood there and told the people that we've had a water issue for 30 or 40 years that they've known about, and they've always said, well, it'll fix itself. We'll look into it.
Kicking the can down the road.
Exactly.
But you sit there and he's wanting to break ground on a fire station, and you ain't even got the water corrected yet.
But in that same meeting, he stood there and told the people, if you pay attention, that his first 3 years in office, he concentrated on sewer. All right. Only about a third of the population in the city is on city sewer, but 100% of the population is on water, even outside the city. So he spent his first 3 years as mayor concentrating on sewer to affect 1/3 of the population. And this last year, he's going to say, now I'm all in on the water and we're going to fix this. We're going to fix it. You ain't fix it in 20 years. Now it's election year. You're going to promise the people you're going to fix it.
Well, people are going to believe him because, God told him to run.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't.
Well, somebody put on. I laughed at it. Me and him went back and forth on Hip Portland one night. He said he wanted to know what was going on with the alderman, and then somebody commented he said, "Oh, great, the 3 choices we got. Something about a loudmouth preacher who don't know this or that, and what he said."
I heard that she told me somebody said it's time to lay the pastor to rest or something.
Then said something about a racist redneck, and then and the third option was a guy who likes to do First Amendment audits. And I said, "What's wrong with you?" I laughed, but then I commented. I said, "What's wrong with using your constitutional rights?" And he's like, "Well, nothing if you're doing it for the right reason." I'm like, "Well, okay." He said, "Well, as long as you're not out there trying to start stuff and win lawsuits." I'm like, "No, just exercising your rights, like voting."
Oh, you mean your big spoon transparency?
Yeah.
So you can see me in the background a little bit on some of the reflections. I went around with you for a little while.
There's no illegal, no ill intent. It's all using your rights. Yeah, Mama knows what I like. Whatever.
But you, like I said, it's. I don't know. She was telling me about it. That she said, something about put the pastor down. Time to lay him to rest. He's done
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, she told me she's seen somebody make the comment in one of those Facebook groups. I don't pay too much attention to it. I don't log on Facebook much, other than Messenger. I like sending videos through Messenger, or it tends to go a little faster. And you can send longer videos that, like, oh boy. Oh.
Well, I just hope I hope the majority of the people are paying attention to what's going on. And I'm not saying this just because I want to get elected. I'm saying this because I want what's best for the people and the best for our town. We got 3 people running as of right now. I think the deadline might have been passed for anybody else can jump in. I don't know. To me, the more the merrier. If 100 people running would be better. But the main thing is for the people to get out and vote. The people's voice need to be heard. So none of this 14% of the population get out and vote. You need 75, 80% of the population get out and vote. I know we're not going to get that, but that's what you need. But if they pay attention to what's going on and what's being said,
we'll get to that.
Hopefully they don't buy into the same old garbage BS political, like somebody said, well, he's a preacher. He's a good man. What does him being a preacher have to do with running our city?
What what is
What does
what
it
is-
have to do with him being mayor?
no being a pastor means you got what, you know, however big your congregation is and your building is, and you manage that. That what does that got to do with learning engineering and water and, you know, or how to dispose of things?
That's like me saying I'm a truck driver. I deserve it. What does that
Yeah.
have to do with anything?
No, it don't. It don't have anything to do with the price of milk or eggs. Period. You know, but you, like I said, you did manage cooking companies, and that's to me more of a background than I don't know any. Well, I can't say that you're a tractor rider. You know, we call him tractor rider. Start calling tractor rider. I'm surprised he ain't got a little noose dangling from the back.
Well, if we go by the jargon of Hip Portland, he's a tractor riding redneck racist, right?
Something like that.
That's all the media pins on him.
Trust me. The propaganda machine does not work on me. I must have been vaccinated against it because I watched that news story. It was, you know, sure his kids are sitting over there making monkey noises, which yeah, I'm sure you taught that to them. You know, good job. But your neighbor's also got a flame neck tattoo. Yeah, he's an upstanding citizen. You know what I mean?
Well, you're putting a profile on somebody, dude. What's wrong with you?
I don't need a profile. He's an upstanding citizen who's 100% innocent.
Jody, that's not up to the city. It's up to the election commission and the laws. Ain't nothing they can do about that. I mean, if he filled out his paperwork to be a write-in and he lives in the city, he's allowed to do it.
He, like I said, I pulled over at Woodard the other day. I passed him and then I stopped and I was like,
well, you know, even the news was down there Friday when he had his hearing where the judge said he had to resign his seat. But the whole, even on the news thing, instead of talking about that, the front of it says, what does it say? Like alderman accused of using racial slurs and this and that, going to have to resign his seat. Oh, you going to play his little.
yeah. There he goes on his tractor. I laughed. I thought it was funny.
I was going to call him Farmer Brown, but Farmer Brown might be offended.
Oh God! But no, the news has come up here, and they've interviewed his neighbors in their Hatfield and McCoy argument, and they've only listened to one side. You know, but then again, he didn't help himself when the news was walking up. He went on in the house and wouldn't talk to him.
Well, you know, like some of those other people that's posted on Hip Portland, the main reason I look at that stuff is because some of the stuff is just yeah, it is. And like let's put a boxing ring on Main Street and sell tickets and just let the neighbors fight it out.
Get the bank away from the farmers, you know.
We could put a charity event on. We could raise a lot of money for charity right there.
Yeah, let's get the neighbor with his neck tattoo and Duck Dynasty, you know, Farmer Dynasty, or you know, I don't give a shit what they call it.
Duck Dynasty.
Let's get Dillard Dynasty up in that ring with him.
I got a whistle in my pocket.
You got a what?
I got a whistle in my pocket.
Why does you put the ring in the old farmer's bank? Forget the chamber.
Say what?
I said, forget the chamber. Don't give them the bank. Put a boxing ring in there. So Dillard Dynasty and neighbor flaming neck tattoo can settle.
I'd rather have it down on Main Street.
Oh, under the gazebo.
No, right on the middle of Main Street there, where everybody can line their chairs up in front of the businesses and around them. Oh, God. Well, anyway, on another note, this Saturday, October 8th, 5:00 at Top of the Ridge Restaurant on Main Street, I'm having my meet and greet, mayor candidate meet and greet. Anybody wants to come on out, no matter if you like me or not. If you want to come out and
if you want to come out and fart and crop dust and drive on by Mr. Spoon. Come on out.
You might want to come out and stand in the corner and throw insults at while I meet and greet the people. Hey, I'm good with that. I'm a good sport.
Boo.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not
Man.
easily offended, as long as you're not.
Eat some Taco Bell, save some Taco Bell, and then come by with a gut full.
I can see a crew walking in now with Taco Bell and gut bombs from Crystals going, we're here to stay, Mr. Cole.
You
I'm
got
like,
to
oh,
no,
yeah.
you got to go down to Gallatin for that now. Can't even
Yeah.
get Crystals in town no more.
Oh, I know.
It really wasn't very popular here, but none of the food here is good, and that's a 20-year mayor problem.
God. It's well,
At this point.
you got a handful of what you call the good old boys or the Inn Club or whatever, and nobody knows who's in it. You can ask everybody around town, and they're like, I'm not in it. Who are you talking about? You know?
Well, I'm not me. I'm with you guys. I'm with you fuckers. Fucking dumbasses. Oh man.
But like I said, we had the candidate forum this last Monday night. If you didn't watch it, you can go on my mayor page and watch it. You can go on the city's page and watch it. I'm sure on the chamber's page, I'm pretty sure it's on there too. You can go back and watch it. This past Wednesday at 7 a.m., I was on WQKR radio station. If you didn't get to listen to that, I was on for an hour, but after you break out the commercials and all that, it was about 30 minutes. But you can fast forward through all the commercial stuff. So you can go online to WQKR and look for what is it, the 28th? No, yes.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, the 28th, 7 a.m. and you can watch it. Or you can go to my mayor page and pull it up because I shared the link on there.
I listened to it and you didn't throw me my fluoride bone. And you had 30 minutes to do it, asshole. That's why I quit. I quit.
I didn't think you deserved it. Out of all the bad stuff you've been saying, trying to make me look bad.
I've eaten Taco Bell before. I'm eating Taco Bell on the side.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just because we do a podcast together, you're costing me votes. So why would I throw you a bone?
I don't. I'm trying to.
I'm being serious.
How am I costing you votes? Because I'm an agnostic clown.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Well, whatever. I'm not going to change who I am, and I'm not asking you to change who you are. So,
I'm an asshole, but you're a bigger one than I am. So,
well, that's fine. I'll take that.
I'm a people person, and you're not. So
I don't want to. I'm an introvert. Yes, damn right. I don't want to be.
I'm not. I love people.
Oh shit! People fuck you over, man.
I know, but I like interacting with people. I like to hear different people's opinions.
I like to keep my crowd small. You know what I mean?
How do you ever grow if you keep a crowd small?
I don't know.
I even like to talk to people that don't like me.
I'll talk to people that don't like me, but I'm not going to have them over here and sit out and drink a beer on the hilltop with them. You know what I mean?
If they wanted to come over and do that, I would still let them.
I have faith in people, but I have a surmounting distrust.
Because just because they don't like me doesn't mean they don't have good opinions or good thoughts or good ideas, right?
Hey, I'll listen
to or I
ideas.
don't like them doesn't mean I don't have good thoughts or ideas or opinions. I think that's what makes or made our country great. It's still somewhat great if we can get all this unconstitutional BS into people to do something. It's you take different people, whether they're men or women, and children. Believe it or not, if you listen to children, they have some of the best ideas. If not, they'll make you laugh. My 6-year-old can tell the best stories. I don't care. I'm sure everybody feels that way about their young child.
Oh yeah, it's like you just whip your children's pictures out at people at work. Like, here you go. Oh God, I'm handing my coffee yet, son of a bitch. What the hell?
No, I'm talking about in general.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Anybody's if you see somebody in the grocery store and they got this young child and they want to tell you a story, that makes me stop and listen more than an adult does. But
that comedian that said, if y'all guys want kids, he said, y'all need to take your ass down to Chuck E. Cheese and sit there for a couple hours. And if you leave that place and you still want kids, you genuinely do want kids. You know what I mean? Oh,
I still want one more. What are you talking about?
oh, boy, you just.
But you take the different people, men or women, the different races, ethnicities, color, whatever you want to say, because we're all created equal. I don't care what you are. You put everybody in, you shake them up, and you listen to all the thoughts and ideas, and great things come from that, right? It's not just one person's ideas or one race's ideas. It's everybody together. And if everybody could learn to disagree but still communicate, I think the
Well, no,
world would be a better place.
I'll communicate with anybody. If somebody wanted to debate me or talk to me about something, yeah, sure, I'll tell you about something. I don't.
Yeah, but you're never wrong.
No. What are you talking about? I'm never wrong.
That's your thoughts, though. Yeah, you're
No,
never wrong.
no. Well, you don't. Look. No, I don't know what's waiting for you in the afterlife. Do you know?
Nobody does. I have faith in
Oh,
what's
see, there
waiting.
you go. I was waiting for it. Go on, Pastor Charlie.
I have faith in what's waiting on me after life.
You have faith, but you don't know. It could be the Carlin theory, where you just released and
I don't believe that. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I have faith.
I know what you believe in, but I'm just saying that would make more sense to me, that the energy, the neurons that are firing in your head release out into the atmosphere, and you're now a ball of energy moving across the universe.
But I'm not one of those closed-minded Christians that says, "Well, you believe something that I don't, so we can't be friends," right?
Yeah, agnostic clown here costing you votes, like you said.
Well, you are. I'm sure you have. I just hope some of the people smartened up and realized that I'm running for mayor.
I haven't convinced him to be an agnostic clown yet, people. Just
no,
so you know.
That's not going to happen.
But no, but I don't know, man. I just, what like I said, I don't. How do you think I'm right about everything? I'm trying to get to it. I'm gonna go get to it.
No, I said whenever we and you ever get in discussion, or you.
I know I've had. She's been right in there a couple times. So
say what?
She's been right on a lot of stuff in there, and
a lot of stuff.
Okay, she's 51% right, and I'm 49% right. There we go.
Oh yeah, right.
We've had our disagreements. Sometimes you might be a little 51% more right by saying you're a people person, and that's like in the series John Adams, where he wanted Jefferson to write the stuff. He asked him to do it, and he said it's because I'm disliked. Adams was disliked. He knew it.
Well, I'm not claiming that I'm always right. I just know that sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I got to learn from the wrong, and you even learn from a little right sometimes. And I have great ideas, and sometimes people have better ideas.
It's like I'm always learning. Like your neighbor sending me some of them videos where I learned. Did you fast forward that Mars video with to 1 hour and 10 minutes and watch where he talked about the fluoride?
No, I haven't even touched that one yet.
Oh Lord! See, there you go. Like I said, go watch your Kardashians. There you go.
I watched a 2.5-hour video while I was working last night. Give me some credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go watch your favorite athlete turned sexy woman, Caitlyn Jenner.
Hey,
what?
He had some sexy calves back in the 80s in that Wheaties box. What are you talking
about? Yeah, well, you go ahead and watch that. Kardashians, remember, my man. I just asked you I gave you the exact minute. Go to this minute in this video, what your neighbor sent me, and you'll see him talking about fluoride.
I'll go back and watch it. Don't worry.
But that was where I was like, the whole point of like asking the mayor on the 1st of July. Let's talk about fluoride.
Has it gotten on agenda yet?
Nope, I ain't noticed it.
Well, this is October 2nd, so 3 months later.
It's a heavy agenda, man. They're trying to bring lots of businesses in here and getting geared up to work on the water.
It just like when I had to wait 4 months for some of the files I requested.
I still ain't got one file I asked, so they probably just forgot about it. I'm just gonna let it ride. I'm not worried about it no more. They can go fuck themselves. They're so untransparent up there, and they're so closed doored.
Well, they're violating the people's First Amendment right?
They don't look at me. Remember the comment about why are you worried about the fluoride? You don't live in the city.
Doesn't matter.
I got a well. I'm thankful for that.
The
But
people have
there's people in town that don't have an option in that.
the people have the First Amendment right to protest their government and tell them their grievances and get answers. And
You
that's
seen what the
and
seen in,
that's part of the records request. But
but
they
you
want
seen
to hide and deny. That's fine.
you seen freedom to fascism. What happened in there? Did they the redress of grievance? What did they do? Uh oh. Hey, there you go, Mr. Wright. I got a text or something.
What they do? They just told them
No,
they
they
just
said
told them they didn't have to answer.
we're not gonna answer it. We're not gonna answer that. It's what it was the Clinton administration, wasn't it? I think they was asking the Clinton administration about certain laws and freedom to fascism, and
No, wasn't that the Bush,
oh, it was Clinton at first. They were
Was
first
it?
going after the Clintons.
and then to the Bush. They both said it's pretty much the
Yeah,
same
they
thing.
both
Right?
pretty much the same thing.
No, the Clinton.
We're not answering that.
No, the Clintons said they wasn't going to answer it, and the Bushes said that wasn't on their top priority list, so they wasn't concerned with it. I think that's what they said.
Well, I lost my respect for Bush when he went after the bankruptcy laws and changed those. That was when I was like, fuck him. Fuck him and fuck the Republicans. Held my nose, voted for McCain and Palin in 2008. And then I was scared the sky was going to fall when Obama come in. But unfortunately, I thought Obama wasn't. In hindsight, he wasn't half as bad as the Fox News he told you he was going to be. But
I voted for Obama.
Well, we voted against each other in 08. See, we're different, I mean, we're definitely different. Like I said, but that was when I started watching, more things like the John Adams series, and that I was like Tea Party all the way. I started looking at researching the founders a lot. I was like, oh my God, people in this country have no idea how far off the profitable, happy people path we have went into enslavement. And there are so many people that just all they listen to is the mainstream.
Yep. Almost everything that the government does now is unconstitutional.
I realized over a decade ago when I was listening, if you listen to it, it's like, how people are starting to wake up to this whole Pfizer thing, sponsored by Pfizer. You see all these news shows that are sponsored by Big Pharma. So people are starting to wake up to that. But there's something they haven't caught. Usually, whether it's Fox or any of these places, even Fox and MSNBC, they're all broadcasting out of Rockefeller Center. You ain't caught that yet?
No.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying for the masses. Y'all haven't caught the fact that your mainstream media generally are all broadcasting out of Rockefeller Center, New York. He owns the land under their building. You think they're going to step out of line and speak out against him?
No. Which is like, who owns the Federal Reserve, right? Nobody knows who owns the Federal Reserve.
It's private.
You know a few names but you don't know all of them.
Yeah, they could have sold some of their percentages of ownership.
But what I can't understand is the people don't look at the Federal Reserve is not owned by the government. It's owned by private people, private bankers, and we allow them to print our money and we borrow money from them to pay them interest when we can do all that ourselves.
Well, it's like Clarence Thomas this year with the Bruin decision and West Virginia v. EPA. Both of those decisions, he was trying to send power back to the people and take power away from the government and give it back to the people and tell governments that you don't have this power, like that was the Bruin. He was telling the state governments, you don't have that power in Bruin. And then in EPA, he was telling the government agencies, like, and I'll use this argument against a safety person at any company, West Virginia v. EPA. You're quoting to me FMCSA, regulations. You're quoting to me Department of Transportation regulations like they're codified, carved in stone laws. No, they're regulations. They don't, truthfully speaking, should be just a suggestion. You know what I mean? And in the end, it is. That's really all it is just a suggestion. But when the EPA went in and tried to tell West Virginia, this is how you're going to do it, they sued them and went to the Supreme Court. And then Clarence Thomas said, no, EPA, you don't make law. You know, you can regulate and try to do things, but you do not make law. At some point, your powers stop and cease. You can go back to Congress and try to get that law. But that's what I don't understand about the Federal Reserve. The reason I said all that was because why would Congress give away that money power? You know, you would think that they want that power.
One world government.
Well, no, if it's one world government, it was one world government envisioned in 1913.
It was.
It was envisioned, but we ain't there yet.
Well, no, but because they play the long game.
I know they play the long game.
If they control everything, they control the money, they control the power, they control the laws, they control who counts the ballots. If they control all that, why would they be in a hurry when they can just slowly introduce different things and take your rights away? They're not taking them away. The American people are giving them to them. And they know that, and that's why it's a slow process.
I'm not giving my rights away.
I'm saying
the
majority of American people are.
The congressman sitting up there, supposedly speaking on my behalf,
but they don't.
They're not. They don't speak on my behalf. I don't screw them. At this point, they don't speak for me. You know,
that would be like saying Mike Hall sitting on our city council that he speaks for the majority of the population. Would that be a true or false statement?
It's a false statement. Megan Thompson speaking for
your congressman up there on the Hill speaking for the majority of the population he represents. Is that a true or false statement? It's a false statement.
Because I have the right to vote for him doesn't mean I have. You want to see that's what people don't understand about civil disobedience. In truth, because I voted for a congressman and then they went to D.C., is that really enough that says that man can conscript me? No, that's not enough. Well, if you think that's enough, that but what about the people who didn't vote for the incumbent?
Well, I went back and looked up something. It was going to be a Walmart warehouse on Highway 52 instead of the Walmart store. The landowner did back out, and I don't have the landowner in my notes. But the warehouse went to Hopkinsville, Kentucky after the landowner backed out. So I wanted to get that on there so we're not, you or I are not.
I just said allegedly. These are town rumors,
Well, I understand, and we got a disclaimer on there. It says that everybody should ascertain that the information that we're speaking of.
Like I said, that was a rumor. I've heard them rumors for years, though, ever since I moved up here. By other people that used to be fire chiefs and nearby. You know what I mean? So it was like, I guess that's a rumor.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people think that you get all your information or your ideas from me, and that's totally false because we're two totally different people. And if you people were on the phone calls that we have occasionally where we're fighting and bickering over things back and forth, you would understand that he doesn't get any ideas from me that he runs with, nor do I have to get ideas from him that I run with. We're two totally different people when we butt heads as much as married
usually then I'll send you a picture of my butt, and then you'll be like,
oh yeah,
all right, yeah.
No, let's not go there. Well, we're about done here, I guess. Unless you got something else you want to talk about.
I don't.
There's
too much going on.
If you've ever seen anybody drive a tractor trailer, a big rig, and can be able to stand up and moon somebody going down the interstate at 70 plus miles an hour, Puddin's the one, because I've seen his butt more than I've ever wanted to see anybody's butt in my life. I can guarantee that.
There's the ones I really cherished was, when I was on the yard truck and I knew that was coming and I was able to hop out on a little platform.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm coming in like, hey, I wonder where Trey is. Oh my God.
There's an ass. Man.
Ridiculous.
Hey, yeah, well, I figured it'd cheer you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cheered something up. It cheered my lunch wanting to come up. That's what it is.
Oh no, there's a lot going on, people. There's a lot of news going on, and it's kind of ridiculous we're not hearing it. like I said, you got the Donbass, you've got Ukraine trying to sign an application for NATO, and I hear rumor that was rejected, that the United States rejected. Well, Zelensky supposedly signed some ceremony to sign an application to go. You didn't hear that one yet?
Why would the United States reject it after we send them all the money and weapons and aid and everything else?
I don't know if they rejected it or not, but there was a ceremony when right after Putin accepted the Donbass region into Russia. Right after he done that, Zelensky signed some application to join NATO, which would put NATO right on the Russian border's doorstep. And supposedly, like I said, your neighbor said that no, they rejected that. I haven't went and read down deep dive into it. They may have rejected it, and
Maybe NATO rejected.
No, they said America rejected the application.
Well, I mean, what does that got to do?
I guess
I thought NATO was a majority.
Look, listen. We've got to send billions of dollars to Ukraine, but it's not our fault. There's inflation. It's the fact that we gave y'all assholes $1,200 stimulus checks.
Yeah,
that's why. You know, we spend the fuckers spend 98% to what they give you and blame you for the 2%.
Yeah,
you know, you wake the fuck up, please. You know, but like I said, I don't really, y'all guys need to be watching.
It's comical, and it's also so depressing and discouraging that the American people just latch on like blind sheep to what the media tells them. The Democrats and Republicans, wings of the same bird.
Oh yeah, we need to get on a. If that's the case, I'll hop on a slug at this point.
So whichever way you want to look at it, look at the WWE, right? They get out there, you got the good guys and you got the heels, and then they're fighting. Everybody knows it's a show. Then they're back, they're best friends. The same thing happens in politics, right? Oh, they're in there voting on things and they're bickering back and forth, and then as soon as they leave, they're going to drink their Chardonnay and play their golf and counting our money, laughing at us, right? That's all they do.
Oh yeah, they're rich. They don't worry about it. Like I said last week, Powell makes like $190 something thousand a week, but it's our fault. There's inflation.
I think. How much money did you say you made a year?
That's 89 or 80 something like that. It's in the 80s.
Million?
Who? No, Powell 10 million. Listen, me
10 million.
Yeah, no, I was talking to me. I was
I thought you were saying 80 something million for him. I was like, I don't.
No, 10 million. 10 million.
Okay.
So divide that by 52, and you get like 190. But we're the reason there's inflation. The fact that he could go and buy himself a plaid model Tesla and still have enough to, I don't know, take a. How many? Where could you go with $70,000? You know what I mean? Shit. That guy could go buy himself a truck and a model plaid Tesla every Friday when he cashes his check. But we're the reason. It's us, right?
Well, yeah.
Charlie, you got to. If you hadn't spent your stimulus money on that 4-wheeler, I can't believe you done that, Spoon. That's why there's inflation.
Stimulus money on a 4-wheeler. I don't think that's what happened, but okay.
But I'm just saying, you got you a 4-wheeler, and he got him a model plaid and had money left over.
I bought my 4-wheeler for the stimmy stuff.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking of something. I'm trying to think of something.
It must have been my new wig.
Oh, your new wig? Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't go in there as Charlene like you were supposed to. You were supposed to go in there in the pumps and the fishnets as Charlene when you was talking to the city council and make them be like, "Oh God." You're gonna have Khaleesi do your toes up. Are your toes done right now?
No, they ain't done right. She ain't said nothing about it in a few months. So.
Oh man, we got to remind her. Hey, Khaleesi, your daddy needs his toes painted.
Yeah, don't tell her that. She'll be over here painting them before I get off here.
Yeah, well, we'll have to tell her, Khaleesi.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
What? This is from Papa? Okay.
I ain't got a whole lot. I don't know about you.
I'm just gonna touch on that and we can get out of here.
Yeah, you touch on you're running. October 8th, 5 p.m. October 8th, 5 p.m. Right?
Well, I just wanted to go back and remind you, I got a mayor page, Charles Go for Mayor on Facebook. If you want to go like and follow. This past Monday, the chamber hosted a candidate forum at City Hall that I was a part of. All the candidates that showed up, I think there was the write-in. Mr. Dillard didn't show up, and I think there was two aldermen.
Scruggs and somebody else, Doyle or Doyd or something.
Done. I think it's done. They didn't show up. But you can go back and watch that. I got the link on my mayor page. I'm pretty sure you can go to the chamber page and watch it, and the Portland City page on Facebook, and go back and watch it if you want to.
You'll see my comments come up about it.
Oh yeah, that's all we want to see.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning, the 28th at 7:00, I was on the radio show WQKR. You can go to their website, WQKR.com, and listen to it if you want to, or you can go to my mayor page and listen to it. I shared the link. I thought everybody at the candidate forum done a pretty good job myself. I wasn't impressed with Mike Hall.
Megan Thompson is the absolute worst.
I thought she done a pretty decent job, and
she did a good job, but we know why she's there. We know,
and setting in the position that she was sitting in, having to answer questions. It's totally different animals. So, whether a lot of people say about anybody, the only reason I say wasn't impressed with Mike Hall is because I think this is his third term he's running for, and he's been through this a couple times, so he should have been a lot more prepared than he was. Somebody like me or one of the newcomers, like I think her name's Latoya.
Latoya Holcomb was the only person there.
Well, me and her.
Well, I mean, on the council side.
Yeah. Well, I thought she done a lot better job than he did, and that's her first time running.
There.
Yeah, he's been there. All the rest of them, I guess out of the aldermen, you probably ain't gonna like me saying this. I think Megan was the best one out of all four of them.
As buttoned up and had her, T's crossed and I's dotted, sure.
Of course, for the mayor, I'm going to say I done the better job, but that's a bias.
We'll see if Callis wins. We'll see. We'll reiterate and put a punctuation on that again. If Callis wins and then Megan Thompson is vice mayor, y'all watch. He will quit. She'll be appointed mayor without being elected.
We're not going to have to worry about that because
you're going to win. Miss Cole's going to win. Yeah.
So remember, this Saturday, October 8th, 5:00, meet and greet for candidate Cole for mayor at Top of the Ridge Restaurant on Main Street. If you can make it, tell people whether you like me or not. Come on out.
Well, like I said, I want to be Puddin Damas, because you was trying to be Spoonster Damas with your Dillard comments at the beginning.
Hey, I wasn't trying to bash him too hard.
I didn't say you was bashing him. I said your Spoonster Damas was. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get kicked off here. You're going to do this, and you're going to split up, and we're going to all lose. Well, no, that ain't going to happen. Okay, all right.
Well, part one is gone. Let's see what part 2 and part 3 happens, and then I can call him and say, well, at least I told you so. Say, oh, I didn't believe you. I can't believe this has happened.
But that's what I'm saying. If happens, and then Megan Thompson becomes mayor because Callis goes and works for the chamber and is appointed by the new mayor. That was the inside track information you picked up, correct?
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. That's
allegedly.
That's allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's allegedly.
But that's why I say, y'all, please, God, do not vote Thompson in there. Gosh, they got to have their power taken away.
Well, I can tell you from the outside looking in, her and Drew are getting back on there.
I don't know. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, now there's 4. You said there was 4 chairs now?
Well, I that's me assuming if he's had to resign his seat, I wouldn't think they would appoint somebody. They would just leave it open till the election.
They might just go ahead and appoint Megan to the seat. Could you imagine that?
No, she already holds the seat. It's for this seat now. What I'm saying is, instead of going back and saying who was next in line the last election, I assume they're going to just leave the seat open, and instead of 3 seats being filled this time, it's going to be 4 seats.
Oh well, let's see. Like I said, I'm at least outside of their control, you know. So whatever. Well, I guess we'll see y'all guys next week, huh? What you think?
Yep. We'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully I see a bunch of y'all Saturday evening at my meet and greet.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, come by, eat some Taco Bell, crop dust Charlie.
We'll probably have some finger foods and drinks like that. If you want Taco Bell, you better bring yourself.
You know. Yeah, figure out the geometry from butthole to nose at Charlie's level, so you know about how many seconds to fart before you get to him, so that it.
You're ridiculous. Come on. All right, everybody, we're out.
All right, see y'all later.